everyone, and welcome to another episode of Innovation Unplugged, where we explore the ideas, technologies, and the people shaping the future of business. I'm Jim Brisimitzis, and today we're diving into the world of predictive intelligence and time series forecasting with Synthefy. As data is exploding across every industry, Synthefy is helping enterprises make sense of chaos, forecasting outcomes, detecting anomalies, and bringing clarity to complex operational environments. With us today, we are super excited to have co-founder and CEO Somi, who is working to help organizations turn raw data into actionable foresight. Let's get unplugged. Somi, welcome to the show today.
Hi, Jim. Really excited to be here. Thank you for inviting me. We are for sure living in very, very exciting times. So yeah, I'm really happy to talk to you about this in more detail.
Excellent. So let's start, my friend, with what was the inspiration in creating Synthefy? You and your team have done some amazing work in the realm of AI, and I'm just curious to know what was the spark that kind of got Synthefy off the ground in its technology?
Yeah, that's a great question to get started. So, I have been working in robotics for all my academic career, like in my undergrad, through my first job and things like that. So I've been very close to AI for a very long time, and what I've seen is. We have tend to focus our AI on very human centric things, which is like us humans. We usually see images, videos, we read text, so we see a lot of natural language data. But there's a different part of the world, which is in robotics and other different places, which operates on time series data. And during my academic career at my PhD at UT Austin, I saw that none of the AI we are building can cater to that part of the world. And there's such a big world, and that was like our key insight to look more deeply into it and see how impactful that could be. And that led us to keep digging a deeper hole and hole, and now here we are, where we have sort of found like something kind of like our goal for next few years.
All right, so let's simplify this a little further. There's been a lot of advancements in large language models. We've worked with Archetype and Liquid AI and a few others, RC that's currently in your batch as well. You're hitting on something that I think is really interesting. I'd like to just poke a little further into why time series really matters. What was the bigger sort of issue that's not being addressed that by enabling the time series capabilities that you brought to market with Synthefy, enterprises are going to be that much better off?
Yeah. So, like the way we see the world at Synthefy is humans. We, like I said, look in images, audio, and text. And companies like OpenAI, Liquid AI, they will build AGI, which is artificial general intelligence. But you and I don't look at time series charts on daily basis, right? We look at images, we look at videos. The only time series chart maybe you and I look at it is open our Robinhood app, or maybe look at our electricity bill. But our world operates on like the machines we build. They operate on time series data. The natural physics of human world operates on time series data. So to dig deeper into that, if SpaceX sends a rocket to Moon or ISS, it's not collecting a bunch of textual data. It's collecting terabytes of time series data from its sensors. You and I are sitting in different rooms. We are sending data packets to each other. This is again not video, audio, or text. We are sending a bunch of numbers to each other, right? So there's a huge world, like our climate changes, financial transactions. They're not text, they're not images or video. They're just plain numbers. And what Synthefy is trying to do is understand numbers, like millions and trillions of numbers at a scale which humans cannot do, but our machines or AI can do it much better. And we can sort of improve all these operations in our like industries around us and in our enterprises to the level of like what we don't have yet.
Right. Now, to put a finer point on that, my friend, we've had the privilege to work with you on a POC proposal for one of our clients in the maritime industry, taking your time series capabilities with Synthefy, marrying it to computer vision, where we were scanning incoming containers, their BICS numbers, license plates of the trucks. But more importantly, where the POC really lit up was that we were using your time series approach and ingesting external data like weather data and such to not only help them in understanding their current operations, but more importantly, helping them to predict future bottlenecks or spikes in demand and such. And you're doing this not just with us on that small POC, you're actually doing that with a bunch of enterprises. Let's talk about why that's actually really important today in light of macroeconomical trends today with the tariffs and such. it's really thrown many enterprises in sort of a loop of confusion, right? Because they can't really predict or plan around what's happening at a macroeconomic layer. That, I think, is one really interesting use case. But do you have others where you've helped clients in using your platform to be much more predictive and prescriptive of where things were going and how that's helped them?
Yeah. Thank you for bringing that use case. So exactly. So as I was saying before, that what Synthefy does is try to understand a lot of correlations in large quantities of numbers. So the example you gave of a logistics company, they're seeing numbers at a scale which a human mind cannot take into account in their brain all the time. And there's so many correlations and patterns which commonly occur, which we cannot just keep in our brain and say, oh, there will be a congestion tomorrow at 4 p.m., but machines can do much better job at it. And traditionally, what we have seen, like time series is not a new thing. Humans have built time series tools for a long time. Like you and I probably took some signal processing class in our undergrad. So we have seen a lot of time series tools. But what's been missing, which you pointed out, is ability to marry time series data with different forms of information to truly understand what's going on. So the example you gave is where we are marrying time series data with image data to see actual traffic at these terminals. Similarly, what we are seeing in other industries where a lot of time series data exists is telecoms, finance industries, where in telcos, what's been traditionally done is the way I forecast traffic is same for every city and every base station, basically, right? So how I forecast traffic from Times Square in New York City is different from Austin than Seattle, right? They depend, they're different locations. The traffic will be different. There might be some large concert, some large event happening in New York City downtown, which might not be happening in Austin, and we need to take into account all these different forms of information when we are understanding time series data, and that's the ability which Synthefy is unlocking for enterprises is ability to incorporate information which they weren't able to incorporate in their current time series tools. So an example for that, which we gave is for telco. Other examples are incorporating macroeconomic events. So if consumer price good companies are trying to forecast their sales for next few quarters and they have to make important decisions now so that they are well prepared for the future, they have to forecast these things, and we can incorporate how are macroeconomics looking like? What are the tariffs looking like? What is the buying power of your economy, right? It changes from quarter to quarter. And we can incorporate all these things and we can provide significantly better forecast to all these companies and many other time series things.
Yeah, and it's that forecast that it's actually really, really powerful for the enterprises because while you can't predict it to a T, the fact that you're actually within range, and that's what's really impressive about your models. Even in just that POC that we worked on with you together, you were predicting things that were within sort of percentages off from reality. And that level of insight really helps the decision maker in any industry within the enterprise make the right calls on resource buys, logistics, or what have you. I think that's where AI is actually becoming a real game changer, synthifying, no pun intended, all of that real data into
Yeah.
working models that make a ton of sense.
Yeah, what I like to say is, what OpenAI enabled is everyone to have a top quality software engineer available for $20 per month, right? So and they'll keep improving that so we can get like a best performing Google engineer at every company in the world just by paying $20 per month. So similarly at Synthefy, we are democratizing hedge fund level forecasting for every company in the world, right? Like usually hedge funds hire some of the smartest mathematical people, physicists in the world, pay them a lot of money, and they build these crazy forecasting tools for them so that they can trade stocks better. Similarly, we are trying to build those capabilities in our forecasting models and democratizing that for all enterprises. So that's our goal. And like you said, by marrying different data formats, we can do even better and better. And that's what we're doing today.
Awesome. Now we talked about telco, we talked about the financial sector, we talked about logistics. What other industries are you seeing Synthefy's capabilities really, being advantageous for those clients or those enterprises?
Yeah, So that's also one part of time series which really personally motivates me. I think as I started looking deeply into time series domain, I realized it like really exists in every part of my daily life, but it's kind of hidden behind machines we operate on, so we don't get to see them that much. So from healthcare industry, we are working with a lot of healthcare industry on generating ECG data, PPG data, so you can use that to build better heart rate prediction algorithms. You can predict cardiac arrest much better. Imagine a world where you will have all the data coming in from your Apple Watch, from your iPhone. It knows what you have eaten, what you have worked out, and things like that. And by combining all that information, we can predict how will your calorie burnout look like? So things like that. So that's in healthcare industry. We're seeing a lot of traction in defense industry as well. So advanced communications has been a well-studied problem, which is very important to any military unit of a country. And for there again, we have been the improvements in that industry has been sort of like tapered out, and with recent innovations in AI, we can significantly improve those things as well. So when our army is like doing communication in very extreme conditions, right, where you don't have proper network connectivity, we are bringing better advanced communication for them as well. So apart from telco and finance industries, healthcare, retail, defense are also really good industries where we see a lot of time series data.
Excellent, excellent. One area that I do like to ask a lot of our guest startups from our alumni is, if I'm an enterprise today, how would I get going with Synthefy? Is it a motion where I need to maybe bring in a systems integrator? Can my data scientists? What does it look like to actually start to use your platform?
Yeah, so currently we are, I would say time series, like Gen AI for time series community is about 1 to 2 years behind of LLM community, right? So currently I would say we are not at the stage where anyone in operations team can just start using us very easily and integrate it to their workflow. So usually we try to work with data scientists first and really understand their problem. They have a really good domain knowledge of what they're working on day to day. And then, just like any Gen AI model, our models are available through APIs. And since our models are significantly smaller than LLMs, you can run completely on-prem. So what we provide to our enterprise customers is ability to use our models completely on-prem, all through an API, right? So we're trying to make AI as accessible as just an API call, which in the past, data scientists would have to spend 6 months to an hour to make a very custom tool for them, which we can do within 15 minutes now using our models.
How cool is that?
Yeah.
Remind me, do you does your platform perform best on GPUs? Are you sort of able to run on both GPUs and just general purpose CPUs? Where's your support today?
Yeah, so our models are almost 100x smaller than LLMs. So that allows us the ability to run on CPU. And it depends on the customer requirements. So if you have very near time requirement of like querying our model 10,000 times every milliseconds, which a telco might do, then it's better to run on GPUs. But the good news is you don't need like a cluster of H100s to run our models. You can just run on any simple industry grade GPU. And then if your use case is something which is like not very real time, you don't need to like you need millisecond performance, you're pinging our models like once a day or once every 10 seconds, then CPU works just as fine as well.
Awesome, awesome. Now let's go back to that POC that you and I were working on and still pursuing. Question for you is, how do you guys ensure that decision makers, in this case perhaps even this client that we're mutually going after together, trust the predictions that come out of Synthefy and help them
Mhm.
drive action? And this is primarily for new clients that don't have experience with your platform.
Yeah. So currently, just like LLMs, one tool can do many different things. So what LLM has done, they have understand textual data, and now you can do coding with it. You can write emails. You can do a lot of RAG. You can generate images and video. Similarly, one model we have can do multiple things. So it can generate synthetic time series data. It can do forecasting, anomaly detection. So to your question, if we work with customers who already have these problems on forecasting and anomaly detection, they have built sort of a test of like a suite of tests which they evaluate us on. So the way we evaluate us is pretty clear. They'll see like, hey, like the POC we are especially working on will see that, hey, what if Synthefy existed 1 year ago, and would they have correctly forecasted my congestion for 1 year? So that's like a way for us to see that, hey, what if I was using Synthefy for 2024, how much congestion Synthefy would have predicted accurately. So in forecasting sense, this is called something backtesting. So it's very clearly defined evaluation criteria. But for other two tools which we do, which is synthetic time series generation and time series drag, these are very 0 to 1 products. And for that, time series industry is still working on really good evaluation tools, which even LM community does not have a really good answer to yet, right? Like we don't know when ChatGPT hallucinates or not. We still don't have a really good way. So for us, for those two tools, we still have to work a little bit to figure out really good evaluation criteria.
Awesome. Well, speaking of predictive, no pun intended there as well, what do you think the future is in terms of the biggest opportunities for what you all do over the next few years? How is it going to evolve?
Yeah. So the way I see it is like, any predictive power allows you to do two things. One is increase your revenue or decrease your cost. So for telcos, if we can predict outages which weren't being able to predict it accurately before or accurately forecast their traffic, they can improve their operations to close down some certain energy bands to save energy, or they can reallocate resources to provide us better service whenever they think there might be too much congestion. So what I see in the future is we will be able to create models which can incorporate so much data as context that our predictive powers will keep getting better and better. And we will truly have like modeling capabilities of ingesting trillions of numerical data points and really understanding what's going on, right? Like imagine we'll be at a point where AT&T can just press a button and say, optimize my network, and will automatically optimize their network through our predictive capabilities that I know from these cities every day this kind of traffic is expected, but this day it's slightly different because we have a Seahawks game, right? And we would be able to add that prediction and correctly like configure the network to account for that, and things will get more and more seamless and automated. And also, like I see, like as we grow, as we bring AI and automation more and more around us, we'll like you're very close to edge networks, right? With the onset of AI, the number of edge devices will just exponentially increase because we would want to put cameras everywhere. We would want to put sensors everywhere and see how we can automate different things. So the amount of time series data we'll collect in the future will just exponentially increase through robots, through edge devices. So we are really in a very growing market right now.
According to analysts, my friend, it could be as much as 400 exabytes of that edge data generated on a daily basis. 400.
Wow. Wow. And
For any enterprise, whether you're a civic organization that has cameras out for safety or signaling systems for intersections, or big enterprises in the logistics world or manufacturing, that's a lot of data. And you sort of said this, and I'll kind of reiterate it. There's a lot of value in that data and how you use that data. And the fact that there are now capabilities through Synthefy that allow these enterprises to make use of that data in smart ways, to your point, grow revenue, reduce costs, regardless of what the industry is, I think is where the proverbial AI rubber is hitting the road.
yeah, exactly. Because they weren't made to understand so much data at this scale, right? And even humans cannot understand data at this scale. So we need to build smarter systems, smarter machines to understand data. So, like what I like to say, OpenAI and all these companies are building AGI, artificial general intelligence. Synthefy is building artificial machine intelligence. We are making our machines much smarter, which is separate from human intelligence.
Oh, exciting times, my friend. Last question for any aspiring founders that are going through the same journeys that you have as well. What advice would you give them in terms of navigating the immense AI opportunity with relevance, right? Because there is a lot of really positive AI momentum in the marketplace. Some hit and miss in terms of
Mhm.
early initiatives that never really panned out in terms of ROI. But what advice would you give to those founders based on the learnings and experiences that you've had?
Yeah, that's a great question. So I would say like two or three things here. I think the first thing is what I've learned as a small startup, you have to grow really fast and you have to find things which has the fastest time to value. And this is like something I was talking to ex Splunk CEO. He told me that their goal at Splunk initially was to get time to give the first aha moment to a customer within 15 minutes. So I think find problems as a startup which will help you grow to give the first aha moment to your customer within first 10, 15 minutes, right? Like if you and I open ChatGPT and they said, hey, Jim, before you can use ChatGPT, you have to upload all your emails, all your code, all your PDF documents. We're like, I'll try it in a month or something, right? So always focus on how quickly can you get value to your customer, how can you make it faster and faster, and that will like significantly improve your operations. That's first thing. And second thing is I think there's so many problems to be solved here, so just stay persistent. I've learned to like, I think perseverance is your friend in startup world, so just stay persistent and you will crack the code eventually.
You absolutely will. Well, you're absolutely in the right swim lane, my friend. It's just a matter of that persistence, and it'll pay off
Yeah.
for certain. We can see it ourselves. Well, thank you, Somi. This wraps up today's episode with Somi from Synthefy. Thanks for joining us and shedding light on how predictive intelligence is transforming how organizations operate, anticipate, and respond. If you're leading an enterprise and looking for ways to bring clarity to complex data, Synthefy is a name you need to know. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share this episode with anyone passionate about the future of AI, forecasting, and enterprise decision making. Until next time, keep innovating and stay unplugged. And Somi, thanks again for offering your time to be on our podcast today. We really appreciate it.
Thank you, Jim. It was great to have you, and also thank you for all the amazing help you have provided so far. It's great to be around your side.
Absolutely, my friend.
Thank you. Have a great day.